Howdy y'all, Tumbleweed here. I deeply appreciate my growing cadre of followers for buying my latest Tumbleweed saga, Oasis Blood, Texans Prepare for War. Y'all inspire me to do more. Having recently returned from the Western Writers of America convention in Colorado, I'm hoping to be able to apply what I learned from the breakout sessions and conversations with fellow authors. Two strong threads running through the convention were education and concern over censorship. They're linked, but we'll deal with the censorship today. Now, I do firmly believe that stories that are told with straight-shooting honesty of speech and thought drive our culture. It's why authors spend untold hours ensuring the accuracy of the words and phrases, as well as the cultural beliefs of the eras in which they set their works. An intellectually honest author doesn't use alternative terms so as to avoid defending some hypersensitive reader. Notably, the sensitivity readers employed by major publishing houses are mostly comprised of young, inexperienced, ill-informed college grads that aren't even permitted to interact with the authors whose works they review. It's a leading reason why most authors have been turned into smaller publishers or even self-publish, so as to maintain the integrity of their creative efforts. It's also why there's an army of authors fighting back against the unfounded censorship that has crept into our culture. Censorship, whether it by publishers, news media, social media, or corporate fiat, destroys stories and by extension, destroys a nation's culture. We can't sugarcoat the lexicon of past generations. We can't substitute present values for those of the past without depriving readers of learning of the past. I ask you to never forget the words of American philosopher George Santayana. He said, "Those who forget history are condemned to repeat it." There's a lot of history we'd care not to repeat. The French philosopher and historian Alexis de Tocqueville noted that, quote, "The greatness of America lies not in being enlightened more than any other nation, but rather in her ability to repair her faults." Now, my fellow authors and I strive to be honest in our creative writing, to not pull our punches. It is, after all, about intellectual honesty. Artificially imposed censorship offers naught but disastrous consequences. I'm pleased to be joining my publisher, Defiance Press, in a Rally Against Censorship event on July 29th at 7 p.m. at the Woodlands Marriott Waterway Hotel, just north of Houston, Texas. It's free. Featured guest is retired Arizona Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Join our independent author family for beverages, hors d'oeuvres, and plenty of books and their authors. You can even get your picture taken with Joe Arpaio. Importantly, it's your opportunity to show your support in fighting the censorship pervading America's culture today. After all, killing our stories, it kills our culture. Now, while you're making plans for the rally, I urge you to get inspired to get your copies of the Tumbleweed Sagas. My latest release, Oasis Blood, Texans Prepare for War, continues Texas Ranger Luke Dunn's epic adventures as he delivers justice across the Texas Oasis Strip of 1860, absorbing us in the events and accompanying dynamics sweeping southern Texas during the time leading up to the war between the states. Action, grit, passion, they all converge at little Oasis Town, Texas. Now keep in mind that there are 3 more Tumbleweed sagas coming, and more. In addition to the newly released Oasis Blood, y'all have been treated thus far to Oasis Justice, Oasis Reprise, and Oasis Deceit. And my next Tumbleweed saga, Oasis Grit, will be here in the fall. I also urge you to experience Nicholas Dunn, The Making of a Texas Legend, the biography I wrote about the life of my great-great-grandfather, a true Texan who immigrated from Ireland as a teen and became legendary in helping tame the Oasis Strip. Now, all of my books from Defiance Press and Publishing are available online in print, e-audio, or ebook from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and directly from DefiancePress.com. Do find yourself a comfy place Let your imagination come alive with the Tumbleweed Sagas. Enjoy a cup of coffee, or even sip a glass of wine, or, hey, something more potent. Let tales of the Old West inspire you and drive you. Hopefully, my brand will grab you and keep you. And especially, you all be sure to read, stay friendly, seriously consider coming and showing up at this rally for censorship on July 29th. And most of all, do take care.